Superior Cadillac Crown?
Yes.
Now this is specifically a hearse.
It is.
Okay.
Well, this was what they would call a combination.
People are actually using this car for legitimate funerals.
Yes, I've done 3.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Two friends
do
of
you
mine
wear your
and
scary
one-
mask, or is you have to wear the suit and tie?
I actually wear a suit and tie and a top hat.
I was gonna say, look at this. Oh, that's a real deal cleaver.
I made this.
That's a movie prop, you said?
It was a movie prop, yeah,
That's pretty cool. Look
for a
at
TV show, Vegas Rat Rods.
Hey everybody, this is Eric, and I have Lenny here from Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and we are getting ready to do a video of the Death Trap. The Death Trap is a monster freaking hearse, and Lenny, I'm going to let you tell us all about this car, but you know, first off, what year is the car?
Well, it's a 1958 Superior. It has a 509 big block Chevy with a 671 blower. It's got two 800 quick fuel carburetors.
So that's right up here. Let's
Yes.
take a look at this thing here. 509 cubic inch, big block Chevy motor.
With a 671 blower.
And that's a 671 blower right there. Let's get close here.
And two 850 quick fuels.
And those are two 850 quick fuel carburetors. And those fuel lines look like they're pretty thick fuel lines. I'm sure this thing kind of sucks up a lot of fuel, doesn't it?
It gets about 3 miles to the gallon at an idle.
This is not your road cruiser truck or car then, is it?
No, sir.
No. And I see it set up as a race car. We talked about that a little bit off camera, that this is the real deal race car. Tell me a little bit more about that, and like...
It's set up as a gasser because as a kid growing up, that's what I liked. Kind of antiquated technology today, but I still like it, and a lot of other people like it. It has the straight front axle. It's a half-ton Chevy, no, actually it's a 3/4 ton Chevy truck axle that's in it with 1-ton springs.
Wow. These springs here, those are 1-ton springs down there, right?
Yep, out of a
Okay.
newer Chevy truck.
Now that looks like total new fabrication right here. Did you make this to support this particular car? It looks brand new.
Yes, everything's made from the firewall forward. Then the frame is tied because it's an X frame and the cars twist really bad.
Okay.
So the frame is tied, and then the ladder bars integrate with the frame.
So when you say the frame is tied, to some people they don't know what that means, what does that mean?
It has 2 steel bars that go from the front of the frame all the way to the back of the frame to minimize twist.
I see.
when
Because this
the
thing
car
is
launches.
cranking a whole lot of horsepower. Now,
It's
let's
about
take
950
Let's take another
horsepower.
look at this. This engine right here, you said it's cranking about 950 horsepower?
Yes, with about 6 pounds of boost.
Just 6 pounds of boost to that big old blower.
Yeah.
Now, what would happen if you turn up the boost a little bit?
I probably get 1,300 horsepower out of it. All I got to do is change the upper pulley.
This pulley right here.
Yes.
That is bad to the bone. And I like what you did with the front. The front is very, very aggressive looking grill here. I mean, what?
They're sharp, be careful.
Yeah, they look sharp. Was that something you thought of yourself that you wanted to do with this particular car, or did somebody else come up with the idea? Or
No,
you kind of collaborative effort?
It was my idea, and I've been trying to get around to it for 2 years, and I took it apart 3 days ago, and it's taken me 3 days to get that grill back together.
So this is brand new, basically.
Yeah, I finished it last night at 11:45
Sweet.
because we had to do this today.
The sacrifices he does, man, I'll tell you what, that's what I love about the car biz and car enthusiasts, because they do whatever it takes to get the job done, all right? Okay, so now we're gonna look at this here. Those are not standard headlamps, I gather, because I saw the rings light up earlier. So this is a newer headlamps inside old school assembly.
Yes.
Okay, are these the LED style?
They are not LED. The ring is LED, but the center is not.
Okay, all right, okay.
And they only light up red.
Check that out, funeral. This car is so cool, man. Now, they only light up red, you said?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, they'll light up for white in the center, but the ring only does red.
Gotcha, okay. Now look at these here. This wheel, I think I took a picture of the wheel earlier. Talk to me about this wheel. I mean, it looks like you said they're bias ply, right? The tires?
Yep. Bias ply Firestone tires in the front.
Right there. All right, now what's up with the the little crown there.
A friend of mine bought me those for my birthday a while ago, and I thought, well, seeing as how the car is a superior crown, those would probably go well on the car.
Wow, what an appropriate touch. It's pretty cool. And I like this here. Those are kind of looking like the front grille there. So is this kind of like a theme throughout?
No, not really.
Just
no,
here and there?
Yeah, just here and there.
Okay.
I did those because I had them, and I couldn't find any for the rear because the back studs are 5/8 studs, and to be able to hold the weight and the horsepower.
Right. And we're gonna take a look at those tires here in a second. One thing though I wanted to talk about here were the headers. Now it says, it looks like you have a decal that says hooker. Are these actually hooker headers in here?
Well, no, they're really not.
Okay.
Those are actually Doug's headers.
Doug's headers?
Yes.
Because those things, well, you guys are here. We did a cold start video and then we rolled down the road with it a little bit. This is just bad to the bone. Look at that. And the workmanship in this engine is just incredible. And you drive this car too, don't you?
I do. I drive it all the time.
Yeah.
I drive it to the grocery store. I've used it for funerals. I've used it for a wedding.
And look how clean it is. I mean, this is serious attention to detail. And I mean, Arizona, you don't get a whole lot of, you know, like the salt and crap like that in roads, but still you have a whole lot of dust and it'll rain. We came through some monsoons on the way over here from Phoenix, and it's nuts. But this car, I mean, this is the superior Cadillac Crown.
Yes.
Now this is specifically a Hearse.
It is.
Okay.
Well, this was what they would call a combination. This would have been.
Let's back up this so we can get a little bit better view.
This would have been bought for a small town like Havasu that couldn't afford a ambulance and a hearse. So if you got into a car accident, they'd pick you up in this.
Oh, yeah.
It used to have jump seats in it, but they were removed. I still have them. The rollers were removed, but I...
oh, the rollers for the caskets?
Yes, because I didn't plan on using it for funerals, and it turns out that that's happening now. So.
Wait. People are actually using this car for legitimate funerals?
Yes, I've done 3.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Two friends
do
of
you wear
mine
your scary mask, or you have to wear the suit and tie?
I actually wear a suit and tie and a top hat.
No kid, a top hat.
Yeah.
Wow. I have a friend of mine named Top Hat John. He's going to love this car. So let's take a look inside here. Now,
interior's not completely finished.
Okay.
I still need to do the kick panels and the door rails and stuff like that. Got to keep my butcher cleaver in here just in
I was
case.
going to say, look at this. Oh, that's a real deal cleaver.
I made this.
That's a movie prop, you said?
It was a movie prop, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Look
for a
at
TV
that.
show, Vegas Rat Rods.
Vegas Rat Rods. This car was in Vegas Rat Rods too, wasn't it?
This car was not. My other car was.
Okay.
I was building this while I worked for the show.
Gotcha. This is the real deal dashboard. Now, back in the day, was that actually the Cadillac dashboard?
That is the factory Cadillac dashboard, but that is replaced. The one that was in here was so badly damaged.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
The whole entire interior was just tore apart.
Is this an Arizona car?
It's been here its whole life, yeah.
So it kind of got beat up by the sun.
It originally came from California, but it's been here for 15 years.
Okay. Now,
actually, probably 25 years now.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Now, talk to me a little bit about this Hearse shifter here. When we were driving on the road, you just kind of like tapped it and whatnot. So what kind of a shifter is that, so people know what's going on when you're shifting this particular car? I know you just tapped on it.
It's an automatic transmission. I'm kind of cheating, but it is a 4-speed shifter handle.
Okay.
That is out of a Hemi Dodge Charger, a 70. The shifter, just the shifter lever is out of the Dodge, but the actual shifter is a B&M slapstick.
Okay.
For the automatic.
Okay.
So you get it. It's a manual.
Yeah.
Automatic. So you got to manually shift it.
I noticed you tapped it.
Yep.
Yeah. That was pretty cool too, because you don't have that lurch sometimes like you do with a clutch pedal and whatnot. off camera we were talking about having a casual conversation about some of the cool cars we have around here, but then the conversation came to how you ended up with the Death Trap, and I just want to share with the audience what the story is, because it's just a really cool story, man.
Well, I was explaining to a buddy of mine that I worked with at Premier Street Rods. It was one of the sons. I said, I'm looking for an old hearse. And he's like, wow, why would you want something like that? And I said, well, I want to build something that's going to create awareness for kids about driving impaired or texting or whatever. And this could be your last ride.
That's pretty cool.
And he went to his computer. He comes back. He says, we have an appointment to go look at one at noon. It's in a storage locker here in Havasu.
No kidding.
And when I showed up, there was like 20 guys there wanting to buy the car. And I just happened to have worked with the guy that owned it, didn't know he owned it.
Right.
And he's like, Len, if you want it, it's your car.
Seriously?
Yep.
That quick?
Yep. And he gave it to me for $1,000 less than he was asking for it.
Really?
Other people were pretty upset though.
Well, you know what? It's his choice. He's a seller, and he can sell to whoever he wants to.
Right.
So now this was a work in progress, we know. So how long ago did you make the purchase of this hearse?
Oof.
Good question, isn't it?
It has, let's see, it's been on the road for 2 years. It has to be 5 years.
Okay.
It sat for a long time. I got really sick and I wasn't able to work on the car. And I actually sold the car because I didn't think I'd ever get to it.
Really? But you never transferred the title, I'm gathering?
Well, I sold it to a buddy of mine and he never came and got it. It sat next to my house for 3 years.
No kidding.
And one day he called me and he's like, hey, I need a driver vehicle. And I was like, well, I just bought this Chevy Yukon or GMC Yukon. And he says, I'll trade you.
No kidding.
I'll give you the car back. So
wow, perfect.
Yeah. So
now you mentioned something. Didn't mean to interrupt you there. Go ahead.
No, go.
Okay.
Yeah, well, he gave me the car back. So
it was a cool story though.
So it never left.
Some movie.
Oh yeah.
Talk about that.
The car was what
this
I was.
Car.
Yeah, this car.
Before it was all.
Yes, back in 1963.
Okay.
They rented that car for the movie HUD.
HUD.
Yeah.
And that's with who?
Paul Newman.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it sat out.
That car right there.
Yeah, it sat out in front of the church.
I'll be damned.
And I can show you pictures on my phone of the car and how, we know that that's the car.
That's pretty cool. Maybe the viewers would like to see that it's the car in the movie. If you want to send me those pictures, like email it to me or text it to me, that way I'll put them on the video.
I can do that.
So now, obviously we did a big video out there of the car, and forgive our appearance because it's hotter than heck out there right now, folks. But I know you have some other stuff you want to do to it, but what is the coolest thing that you have done with that car that you think, wow, now this car makes a statement? What is that? There's got to be one single thing.
On this car or any of them?
On this car.
On this car?
Yeah.
I think just the motor. The motor is just obnoxious. It gets your attention.
That's a great term, obnoxious.
Yeah.
It does get your attention.
And that's what it was. That was what it was intended to do. Get your attention,
cool.
And it does.
It does.
You drive it through a car show. You drive it down the street. People are waving at you. People are stopping and taking photos of it. I've driven it up and down Las Vegas Boulevard. I've driven it up and down Rodeo Drive. I've had it all over, and and everybody wants to see it. Everybody wants to talk about it.
That's pretty cool. And it's definitely neat. I know when I went for a ride earlier today, it was brutally hot out there, and your car doesn't have air conditioning, so we were sweating buckets. But people were giving you thumbs up and smiling. And I remember we pulled off, turned right down the road, and this lady in this pickup truck was just ear to ear grin, just looking at you, just grinning. You're like, yeah, it's just me. I just cruising around with the Death Trap.
Yep.
That's good. I like the reason you call it the Death Trap. Distracted driving is huge. It kills thousands of people a year. And if I'm on the road and I have to make a phone call, I have the earbuds to use, so I'm always hands free. But if I'm not hands free, I'm not on the phone. Yeah. I don't believe in doing that kind of stuff, and it's good.
Believe it or not, that car has hands free.
Does it really?
Doesn't have AC.
I noticed it had a new stereo system in it.
It has hands-free phone in it. Scared me to death the first time it went off because it's really loud, and I didn't know it was there. We installed the stereo, but I wasn't aware that it had that capability.
So it's Bluetooth capability and hooked up to your phone?
Yes.
So when your phone rang, it freaked you out?
Oh yeah, it was loud.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So.
Wow. Well, we have one more thing to do with that car, and then that's it. So folks, you got to check out this car. Oh wait, you're going to check out this car in my YouTube channel, Muscle Cars with Eric. And if you want some really bad to the bone work done, you got to check out Lenny and his shop, and it is Chop Shop Welding and Fabrication right here in Lake Havasu City. Is there an email or a website or something they can catch you at?
Yeah, chopshop1600 at yahoo.com.
Chopshop1600 at yahoo.com. Right here, folks. Love you. Hey guys, thanks for watching that last video. I hand selected a couple videos for you to watch right now. Click here.